about this question, what makes strategy actionable? And I would love to hear more. Are you ready for some new questions?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead for that.
That's great. So as said, we already discussed about this, how to make strategy actionable. But what do you think? What are the best methods or systems supporting the transformation of strategic goal to a concrete action?
This is a big topic indeed. I'm glad you asked about that. However, instead of discussing what are the best systems, I would like to discuss the features of those systems that support transition from high-level corporate strategies to individual actions. And I refrain from discussing the best systems because the best is very contextual. What is the best for one firm may not necessarily be the best for the other. And this is because every firm has their organizational culture, operates in different national cultural environment, has diverse corporate strategy and its objectives. So it's really sort of very context specific. In the previous episode, we discussed the complexity of human nature and how it affects strategy implementation processes and evaluation of it. So continuing on the same note, systems that would help us transform strategy into action are those that incorporate human aspects.
So what would be those human aspects that need to be incorporated in the corporate management system design?
Well, first, we must understand that individuals come to work in a firm because they believe that their workplace can help them fulfill their personal needs and aspirations. If they feel that their workplace is supportive to their needs and aspirations, they will wish to secure a workplace in it, right? In order to secure workplace in a firm, managers and non-management employees are likely to be eager to help firm thrive through helping the firm implement a strategy. This feeling of whether the firm supports individual aspirations is usually obtained through manager-employee interactions and through observing communication and practices in a firm. The latter allows people in the firm evaluate how much of reciprocation they can expect from a firm. So very roughly speaking, the principle is tête-à-tête. I feel supported and I will support the firm's goals.
Yeah, that's so true. But how does this then translate to the evaluation of the systems for strategy implementation?
Great question. Well, first, it's essential to understand the experiences of organizational members through surveys and on one-on-one conversations, as we discussed in the previous episode. This will help us understand whether our systems are functioning well, meaning, do they give expected impressions to people working in a firm? When we observe the discrepancies between the intended and perceived, we can adjust systems and communication about them. Second, when manager communicates strategy to their subordinates, the communication about goals should be made relevant to the goals of individuals, rather than exclusively emphasizing the benefits for the firm. So for example, if we say selling more global projects will allow us improve financial stability of the firm, we may add that therefore we will be able to secure the workplaces. Or corporate language policy helps us work as a one team in a firm, but also allows team members increase proficiency in a foreign language, which supports their international career aspirations. Or another example, focusing on transparency as our corporate value will ensure that we foster transparency in practices with our customers and suppliers, but also employees are appraised in a transparent way. So the communication should emphasize this win-win and not only the benefits of the company. In other words, we must show a link how each corporate goal touches the individual and their needs and aspirations. The systems should permit such communication and support training of managers who would be able to convey messages in such specific way. The systems should ensure that there are channels to obtain understanding about such needs and aspirations of individuals, and the inclusion should be high, meaning that we do not have in the firm imposed beliefs, but rather everyone feels valued and respected for who they are in a firm, and therefore they're willing to share about their aspirations.
I'm a bit worried that there is such individuality not leading to a chaos. So how to manage the firm if we still so much focus on individuals?
I understand. Listening to sort of these suggestions, naturally such questions may occur. However, there is a small trick here. We must remember that while each of us are individuals, we're also social beings, and therefore we have commonalities with each other. Organizational behavioral literature would even suggest that similar people are attracted to work in the same firm. Sociologists would emphasize the power of culture and cultural traits of a specific group of people. So you are right that we are unlikely to address all the needs and aspirations of all the individuals in a firm. Instead, we can establish understanding about some of the key shared features of people working in a firm. And for this purpose, we need to have systems and practices that allow us learning about people who work with us, and also that would allow knowledge sharing among the managers. So then we can compare the information about organizational members and observe commonalities, or at least similarities within the units or the teams. And therefore, then we can build corporate or firm level communication on some of the commonalities, while some personalized communication can take more individual differences into account more profoundly. Let me give you an example. I have observed that expectations about the strategy are highly affected by national culture. In some cultures like Finland, employees are more likely to have strong preferences to hear about how strategy links to their individual work and their benefits due to individualism present in the Finnish culture. This will somehow affect how actionable strategy becomes if this communication doesn't happen. Whereas in India, leaders' role and belief in the leader rather than strategy itself is more likely going to matter a lot. So when implementing strategy within specific country unit, we will need to adjust our messages accordingly. The systems for strategy implementation then should support our understanding how to adjust these messages at some sort of unit or team level, and then how to adjust them individually.
Yeah, that's very good answer. But I still have one more question for you. So I'm thinking that what about strategy implementation and making strategy actionable across the units of the multinational firm like us at Fomit Group? We have operations in 3 countries.
Indeed. So Fomit operates in Finland, in Sweden, and in Norway, and these are already 3 very different cultural environments if we think about it. Yeah, and indeed this becomes much more complicated, you rightly spotted. In such situation, a multinational firm should have systems and practices that permit calibration of the diverse understanding. What does it mean? Let me give you an example. So if a global team is implementing a specific goal, they should start from sharing how they understand that goal, rather than assuming that they interpret the goal in the same way. Then the team should be given tools or guidance to decide whose understanding will be prioritized in the implementation. Because if this is not done, there will be significant amount of conflicts in the actual execution process. However, this topic is very broad, and I suggest we continue discussing it in the next episode. How do you feel about that?
That sounds very good idea, because I fully agree that this is a wide topic and we have plenty of things we could still talk about. But thank you so much for your insights so far. It was truly appreciated.
Thank you, Tiina, for excellent questions and really sharing the challenges that are absolutely common for many firms. And let's hope we can get to solve them and to share the insights that help you and other companies as well.
Exactly. Thank you so much.